Hi everyone. I'm Neeraj Singh, not Neeraj Gupta. That's okay. Uh, a bit of background about me. I come from a digital transformation background. I worked in the industry for around 14 years before moving into blockchain, ecosystem. And my role was to, work with these large institutions and help them adopt new technologies. And when I entered the era of, working on blockchain, smart contracts, smart money, uh, this was something that I, wanted to contribute to again, bring it to the institutional use rather than, looking at it from the other point. When we started in India, back in 2021, there were no regulations, and the regulator basically wouldn't even like to talk to you about these topics. But today we have covered a lot of ground. We have worked with RBI. We had a successful exit on the use case that Hitesh was talking about, the tokenization of invoices that was built by us. We are right now in SEBI Innovation Sandbox, where we are trying to test out, uh, can we create a new market infrastructure where we can eliminate some of the intermediaries? Can we tokenize the securities in the Indian capital markets, bring it to a larger audience? Can we open fractional ownership? Can multiple use cases be enabled by bringing tokenization and blockchain into the ecosystem? And third, we are trying to enter into international trade finance as well from the international regulator, which is IFSCA, based out of Gift City. There we are also leveraging some kind of deposit tokenization of large anchors, and then again enabling SME importers in India. Right. So I'll share some of the pointers that has helped us over the years. But first thing to understand is why does a regulator matter? I mean, if you are building a B2C business, you can build it pretty much without even considering, and then the regulator will come back at you once you have scaled. But if you are in a B2B business, you are trying to build with some banks, you are trying to build partnerships. It is pretty much given that you will have to work with the regulators, right? And the sooner you start, the higher chances you have of success. And I think everyone here, kind of trying to build something for a long term success rather than just getting in and out of the market. uh, Being engaged with the regulator also gives you a lot of credibility, right? That you know what you are talking about. It also gives some kind of comfort on you in the eyes of the banks who are going to be your customers, right? So it really matters if you're building in that space. There are a few principles that we work on. Pramod Rao sir is here. He's a regulator, so you guys can also talk to him on this. But I'll share some of the things that have helped us during the journey. And the first principle that we apply to ourselves is you have to think like a regulator, right? You have to ensure that the customers that you are trying to serve, you are protecting them, you are protecting their rights, right? Because that's what the regulators do, right? The regulator first job is to ensure consumer protection, right? You have to identify all the risks that you are creating by bringing this new kind of technology right into the market. It's not just the risk of losing money, but it can also create some systemic risk in the economy as well. So you have to identify all of those, and you have to create risk mitigation strategies. uh, Frankly, it doesn't come to you when you start, but when you start discussing about your models to the customers that you're trying to sell to, or from industry experts, you'll start seeing those pieces, and then you have to try and connect all of that, and then you can embed it into your business model. So think like a regulator. Second, I think more than technology, the focus has to be on what impact you are trying to bring, right? And this is a generic startup advice that everyone will give to you. Don't focus on the technology, focus on the product. Regulator, I can tell you that regulator is pretty much open to discussing any product that you are trying to build using this technology, as long as you can show that you are going to bring some impact to your customers, right? Whether this could be priority lending, it could be opening up access to, the underserved economy that we have, right? Although we have almost all people having bank accounts thanks to Jandhan, but the financial inclusion is still not there. So if you can advance some parts of that, if you can open access, if you can make some illiquid assets more liquid, but again, making sure that you are not bringing any risk, right? Uh, the regulator will definitely listen to you, right? And they will even guide you on how to, navigate the path together. They will tell you what can be done, what cannot be done. So technology is not something the regulator is against, but you have to show what kind of impact you are trying to bring to the economy or to the nation, right? Second thing, which I would like to focus here is, uh, it's a debate between, bringing a decentralized system or a centralized system. Initially, my sense has been that the most like kind of more acceptable model right now is an enterprise sort of setup. Although we are seeing some of the institutional move towards decentralized setup in the West, whether we will see a similar move in India, we are yet to kind of focus on that. So be very careful on when you're speaking to the regulator, what kind of model you are going to bring in. Uh, Third is, if you're a startup and if you go to the regulator, you want to build this, regulator is possibly going to ignore you. So what you have to do is you have to go in with some kind of industry support, right? You have few early adopters that are willing to bet on you, and these should be regulated entities, because the regulator can only regulate, those kind of entities. It cannot regulate you. So build in some kind of credibility within those early, adopters. Go with those adopters to the regulator, and if they say that yes, there is a definite, need of this product and it can solve a problem at scale, you have a fairly high chances of getting a nod from the regulator, and getting into possibly regulatory sandboxes or some kind of relaxations where you can test your product, right? So create an industry pull. And this is mostly a relationship play, right? You have to build strong relationship with your customers. You have to create that trust between you and your customer, so that together you can create a joint voice. It has to be an industry pull rather than you just pushing your product out into the market. um, Next thing I would say is, engage more and more with the regulator. Face time is very important. The more the regulator sees you, the more the client sees you, it creates trust. It creates some kind of comfort in the eyes of the regulator, in the eyes of your customer, that you are there, right? You are not going to just run away if things are turning south. Just engage a lot more. There are a couple of ways to engage. You can start with an open email. Most of the regulators, they respond. It will take some time, but they will respond. Try to set up meetings with them. Again, email works there. A lot of these regulators are available at conferences. GFF is going to happen. You can just go and meet them. RBI is going to have a stall. Try to speak to the innovation departments first, innovation or the fintech departments, rather than going to the Department of Regulation or Department of Supervision, because these departments are much more. I would say pretty much their risk-taking appetite is a little more than the other regulators, and they are the ones who are gonna work on the innovation part. So use this. And I think the last thing is patience. You would need a lot of patience. You would have to stay in the game for a very long time for everything to work out, because I think most of us, what we are trying to do is we are trying to create some new kind of framework or create some new regulation into the economy, right? And that will take time. We have been in this for last 3.5 years. We are seeing some light at the end of the tunnel, but there is still a long way to go. So have flexible timelines. Don't stress on the regulator is going to approve your model overnight. It's not going to happen. It takes a lot of time. Probably a sandbox would take 1 year. After the sandbox, some approvals would again take 1 year, and then again a couple of months for you to launch. So it's a 3 hours 3 years journey at at minimum. So be there, be patient, and most likely you will succeed. So I would just stop here. Thank you so much. I'm available at the conference for some time.